It's Christmas! Sorry, I had to get that out there. Whew. I have to be kind of low, though, because people are still sleeping upstairs. So I'm in the super secret mobile studio right now. And it's just because I don't want to wake everybody up. Because we still haven't done Christmas morning yet. So, you know, let's do this. Yeah, it's... I don't even know what to say. I've been on YouTube for 10 years. That's right. Today is the 10-year anniversary of me being on YouTube. So you've been looking at this face for 10 years. Yeah, enjoy that. How much has it changed anyway? Huh? You know what's funny? Yeah, I've got this now. So what happens when you just stop shaving? Although I do clip a bit here and there. I do have some white coming out because I'm getting old. See, like these gray hairs and stuff. But I'm not getting old, but you know, I'm older than I was. 10 years, come on now. What's funny is I don't have the hair poofed up in the front, you know, like this anymore. I'm going back to the butt cut that my wife calls it, back whenever I first started, the butt cut. So I'm doing that again. I don't know, it's just, I'm coming full circle for some reason. Yeah, 10 years. You know, 10 years ago I did a video called, honestly don't remember what I called it, but it was about Street Fighter 2010, The Final Fight for the NES. And I was confused about that game, because it says, you know, Ken from Street Fighter's in it, and he's all like cyborg and whatever. Yeah, so it's not really a Street Fighter sequel. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You know, it has nothing to do with the rest of the game. The original guy was Kevin Stryker. He wasn't Ken. But, I mean, he was a retired Street Fighter or something, and now he's doing all that stuff. But then, you know, when they brought it to America, they're like, hey, we're going to make it Ken from Street Fighter. And it got me thinking, you know, being that was my first video, why don't I come back to this, this kind of, I don't know, it's not going to be a video series. I'm going to do one video here. But it's going to be a series of games that did the same thing, that were localized for the United States. Games that look completely different elsewhere, but when they came here, we got maybe a movie tie-in, or some kind of product placement, or video game sequel type thing like 2010. I'm going to see what I can find, and I'm going to put it together. The intro is over. Enjoy the content. Alright guys, we're going to start it out with Contra. And not only Contra, we're also going to be doing its European counterpart, Probotector. Now, you see, they had to change the name. Oh, I don't guess they had to change the name, but they had. I mean, it wouldn't have made sense. They had to change the game itself. As you can tell, they're robots. There are no humanoids. Well, humanoid robots, but you know what I'm saying. Because in Germany, you can't have human-on-human violence in video games or any media and sell to minors. So due to that law, and also Nintendo being stationed out there in Germany for the European market, they had to actually change the game up a bit, you know, Konami did, for release. And it's not really that much different. I mean, obviously, you can tell that the game is slower in Probotector, but that's because of the refresh rate differences between the PAL format and the US format, and also Japan. But overall, not really too different. I mean, you can see in the top left in the US version, they have medals that show, you know, how many lives you have. And in Probotector, you're actually going to have robots showing how many lives you have. The bad guys are pretty much all the same. There's a couple of minor differences. Obviously, you're not going to be shooting people. They're all going to be robots in Probotector. And also, you know, one or two of the bosses were changed up. And that's pretty much about it. As far as gameplay, everything remains relatively the same. In fact, it's identical. So there's really no change there. You're going to have a good time whether you play, you know, one or the other. And in fact, a lot of people even prefer Probotector. I don't know if that's just, you know, nostalgia jumping in there, but I mean, a lot of people that are from America, you know, they'd rather Contra. But hey, you know, tomato, tomato. I mean, it's the same game whether or not you play it from whatever region you play. As long as you have fun with it, there you go. Alright, well that's about it for these two titles. I'm going to let the footage play for a little while longer so you can get an idea of the music and the speed difference, and I'm going to let both endings play just so that you can see that, and you know, try to look and see if you can see any differences. Check out the helicopter for one. Alright, we're going to be talking about Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle, or as it's called in Japan, Roger Rabbit. Kemco got the rights to Roger Rabbit for sale in Japan, and for the US market, they got the rights to Bugs Bunny, well, and Looney Tunes characters, obviously. Pretty much that's the only difference in the two games, just the difference in the characters. The music's the same, the bad guys are the same, they just have different sprites. Bugs Bunny collects carrots, and Roger Rabbit collects hearts, you know, because his heart's broken. You know, Jessica was playing patty cake with Marvin Acme, so he's got to collect hearts to mend his broken heart. I don't know if that's the real story, but I'm just going to go along with it. Yeah, not much else different. I mean, Kemco decided to go with a lot of other characters later on, like Woody Woodpecker, Mickey Mouse, for this set of Crazy Castle games. But as for this original, these are the differences, folks. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about Power Blade. And as you can see, it looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's holding a boomerang. Now, the thing about that is, in the original Japanese game, he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's more like a cartoony Mega Man game, as you'll see in a bit. But right now, I mean, it's kind of funny to look at that and think, wow, this is not what it originally was. This is how Japan thought that the United States would be more welcoming to it, as opposed to the cutesy guy that you're looking at right now. That's Taito for you. I mean, Taito, they had a lot of cutesy characters, and the U.S. welcomed them with open arms. I mean, you got Bubble Bobble and stuff, and we never had any issues with that. But I guess they thought, you know, being some kind of a shooter with military vehicles and stuff, that Arnold Schwarzenegger would be a better fit for the U.S. market because he was so popular at the time. And it's really funny to think how many games had Arnold Schwarzenegger in mind at the time. I mean, this guy really shaped the entire way that we played video games during that era. So, just crazy, the popularity of him. Here you'll see in this version, in the US version, you're going to have this suit of armor. I'm not sure if you have one in the Japanese version. I know you do get power-ups, obviously. I mean, it's the same game. But you pretty much stay the same way. You don't look any different. You look like a Mega Man dude, which is cool. I think in hindsight, I really wish that they would have kept this. I mean, not that I don't like the original, you know, Power Blade's great and everything, but Power Blazer is, I don't know, it's more appealing to my eye. I don't know. I like the size of the sprites and everything, and I do like the way the bosses look. It looks more Japanese anime type, which is great. But going back to Power Blade, I like it too. I can't really say that I prefer one over the other. That's not fair. But yeah, those are the differences between Power Blade and Power Blazer. Now we're going to look at Shatterhand, which is an American localized version of a Famicom game called Tokkyuu Shirei Solbrain. It's hard to say. But it's a tokusatsu game. It's kind of like Power Rangers or something like that. It was a TV show over there, Solbrain. The differences are like so minor, I almost was afraid to even put this in here. It's just graphical. That's all it is. It's the same music, the same sound effects. You're looking at the American version here. Now it's transferring over to the Japanese version. You see him in his power suit, and I guess he's fighting the bad guys from the TV show. Yeah, not too much to talk about here. I mean, they're both great games. There's obviously no differences in speed or anything because, you know, they're both NTSC. You have, I mean, I really like the way the bad guys look in the Japanese version. And here you even see in the US version, he jumps into a suit. So it's almost tokusatsu right there. Right there, he looks like he's fighting M. Bison, to tell you the truth. But, I mean, that was a quick boss fight. Really, I mean, play either one of them. You'll have a fun time no matter what. I mean, it's the same game. It's just, it looks a little different. Hey, it might even get you to want to watch the tokusatsu. Who knows? Noid. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is one I used to rent when I was a kid. I never owned it, but man, this is a weird game. So basically, the mayor of this city calls on the Noid to come and stop all these little, I don't know what they are, some green slime things. And he's a huge Domino's pizza fan. And that's basically the story. As far as I can tell. I mean, you have a yo-yo, that's your main weapon. And what's funny about that is that the yo-yo was originally invented to be a weapon, so it's not as far-fetched as you think. And then we're going to be looking at Kamen no Ninja Hanamaru. Wow. Yeah, so in Japan, it's the same game. They just localized it for the US. You're a dude with a bird on your shoulder. I really wish I knew what the story was here, but I don't speak Japanese. I don't read Japanese, but hey, if anybody can give me an idea of what this game's about, please let me know. I mean, it looks fun. Some of the game music was changed over in the US version, but all the mechanics are exactly the same. In fact, all the pizza eating contest here and some of the other games in there, they're absolutely identical. The only thing is, here I can see that, you know, they're talking about how many pizzas do you want and stuff like that. In the Japanese version, I don't know what they're talking about. But what's cool is, and I might do this after I finish the video, but being Christmas, I want to get this out as soon as possible. On Google Translate, you can actually take a photo of the screen and it will translate the text. And I've done this before to translate other games, and it works really well. So, you know, if you guys want to do that and see what they're actually talking about here, go right ahead, because it's really a cool tool to have. But you see right here, instead of a pizza eating contest, it looks like they're battling. They're using weapons on cards, and they're fighting each other. So that's the difference here. I'm just going to let the rest of it play out, and you guys can check it out and see the differences. here's an obscure title that nobody ever really talks about. I never really heard anybody say anything about. I mean, I used to have it at one time, but I think it was called something like Super Mario Brothers 2 or something like that. I don't know. I never heard of the first one. Okay, obviously I'm joking. So Super Mario Brothers 2, and I'm sure everybody knows this. You know, it's from a Japanese game. That was originally called, and you know what, I'm just going to say Doki Doki Panic because I've already probably screwed up a couple other Japanese titles and I don't want to do it again, not on this one. But let's just call it Doki Doki Panic. So, yeah, that was, they had some kind of a mask festival that they were trying to promote in Japan, and they had these characters already out, so why not use them? So Nintendo made this game. And the story goes that their children, this family, their children get sucked into a storybook. And so they're in storybook land. They go in there to try to save the kids. And I mean, I'm transitioning back and forth in the game so you can see how similar it is. The music is mostly the same. The flashing on that part of the waterfall right there, it's kind of disorienting if that's the first time you see it, so I didn't want to show too much of it, but as you can tell, it's kind of crazy. Right there, that's Papa. He's the Mario of the game. I'm just showing some basic differences only because, and I had to include it, it was something I had to do. There's no way I was going to make a list like this and not include it. But, you know, if you want to see more about this, I highly recommend watching The Gaming Historian and his video about this particular game. He goes through the whole thing. I can't remember it all, but yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun doing this video and just showing the differences. I liked going back and forth and showing the differences because if you don't see it in front of your face, like look at the Phanto faces in the back. See how they just changed? Yeah, I mean, certain things like that I wouldn't have noticed had I not seen it side by side. Well, it's not side by side, but, you know, flipping back and forth. But, yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it. Well, that was interesting. It just goes to show you, they think that they could pull the wool over the eyes of you. And they did. Don't pretend that they did. Don't be shaking your head no. I know they did. And you know who else knows they did? Santa knows that they did. And it's not too late for those presents under your tree to turn into coal. So, I'm just warning you. Be honest. They pulled the wool over the eyes of you. Yeah, but you know what? We still got some good games out of it. We got some fun stuff. I know that you guys knew I was going to put Doki Doki Panic in there, but you know, I had to do it. I had to do it. It was part of it. But, you know, hopefully maybe you didn't know about some of the others. And maybe I don't know some that you might know. So maybe you could put those in the comments below. That way I can kind of get an idea. Because if I don't know about it, I'm very interested in this stuff. So just let me know about that. Also, how have you guys been doing all this time? Man, it's been a while. All my subscribers, it's crazy. And I don't get a chance to talk to you guys anymore. It's going to change soon, though. This is only the first of more videos that are coming out. I might even go live sometimes. Don't tell anybody though. Yeah. Might be some of that going on. I do want to do a video showing off my video game collection. I haven't done that since, shoot, about 10 years ago, something like that, almost 10 years ago with EJ. And just show off what I have now. You know, just like some, not too major, you know, like some of these channels, they put on these spectacular videos with all of these, you know, top 10 lists, and I'm so sick of top 10 lists. Oh my gosh. That's all YouTube is now. Top 10, top 20, top this and that. It's like, I don't know. I kind of like the way YouTube used to be. You know how you have the intro and then you talk to your people out there, your subscribers, like I'm talking to you right now. And I don't know. It's like they separate video vlogs or whatever and their content. I've always been one to include both. I mean, you could have already clicked off this video by now and it would have been fine. I wouldn't have, it doesn't bother me. I've already got the watch, the view, you know. But you know, we have to do the whole hit that like button or whatever it is now, the thumbs up for this video if you liked it, and thumbs down if you don't like it or whatever. I hear everybody say, but doesn't that make it worse for you? It's like, why are you telling people to thumbs down your video? You should be like promoting it, like upvote my video, yay! And subscribe if you're not subscribed to me. Although with the YouTube algorithm, I'd be totally surprised if this showed up on your page as you may like this video. I don't know. So, enjoy 2017. 2016 was a bust. But, yeah, let me know how your 2016 was, if it was as bad as everybody says it is. Or if you had some good stuff happen. I want to know. You know? Alright, guys, take care, and I will talk to you soon. I just poked myself in my eye. Oh.